I'm Greg, the Uber driver. Today is Wednesday, September 27th, and I want to talk about currently there are two court cases going on in Florida about the gerrymandered congressional maps redrawn by Governor DeSantis's people, Alex Kelly, and the current federal trial that's going on, and there will be a state trial that will be continued later this fall. So really quickly, this is kind of where we stand on the the federal trial, and then the state trial, like I say, is coming up later. So currently there's a 3 federal judge panel that is considering the case that could ultimately rule that the map in Florida needs to be redrawn. This map that we currently have was drawn by a guy named Alex Kelly. He is the governor's current acting chief of staff. And this map that was drawn by him and involved, obviously, I'm sure the governor was involved with it, netted the Republicans 4 congressional seats to give them a majority in Washington. And there was an original map that was drawn by the Republican legislature, and they vetoed that because it wasn't good enough. So they go in and they redraw the map that the legislature had drawn. They vetoed it and drew their map. And then the legislature goes back and they approve the map drawn by the governor, because at that point, the governor is strong in their minds and everybody's afraid of the governor. Not so anymore, but they were at the time. So Alex Kelly, the acting chief of staff for DeSantis, he draws up this new map, and that helps them win 4 congressional seats to give the majority of the House of Representatives now to the Republicans back in 2022. Now, during the trial, Kelly is on the witness stand and he's being questioned. And he insisted that the map that DeSantis has been touting on the campaign trail as helping the Republicans gain back the House of Representatives was not drawn up for partisan reasons or to help any incumbents. Well, then what the hell was it drawn up for? Why is he out touting it? Why did you need to redraw the one that the legislature drew if somehow you didn't need to tweak it so that you could gain seats? Complete BS. I mean, my high school kids would tell better lies. I mean, why is DeSantis out touting? Well, the way we drew the maps gave us these 4 seats. Yeah, sure it did. You clearly violated. And these 2 factors are not allowed under Florida's voter-approved anti-gerrymandering standards. Kelly also insisted under questioning that he had no idea whatsoever that he was bolstering the percentage of white voters in these 4 congressional districts by splitting up the seat that was held by Democratic Representative Alan Lawson, who was also an African-American. Had no idea. Oh, just right. That's like my kids. I don't know how this test got on my cell phone. My friend must have put it here. How did these cheat sheet get into my hand? I don't know. It's not mine. This cheat sheet in it's not mine. It's somebody else's. I mean, really? Really, Alex Kelly, that's the best you can do? And then he goes, I had no reason to look at racial and ethnic data in North Florida to draw these maps. Complete bullshit. What do you think you looked at? Why did you redraw the maps that the legislature had drawn? Yes, you redrew. You let you look at ethnic racial data to change the maps to dilute the black voters so you could win. I mean, really? Do you think people are that stupid? No, we're not that stupid. Hello? So, this is the ongoing federal trial. There is a separate state trial or state challenge, and it's been focused, both of these have been focused on the dismantling of Representative Lawson's congressional district. Now, in state court, a circuit court judge earlier ruled that the redrawn district violated the state constitution, and he ordered the Republicans, the legislature, to recreate a new map. Well, they immediately appealed that, and so now that's going to state appeals court, and that will be brought up later this fall. And that potentially, depending how that goes, could also require that they draw up a new map, in addition to the federal court case could also require that they drop a new map. So either of those could do it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but that's kind of where that is. But for them to say that they did not look at any racial ethnic data, they did not know that doing this would increase the percentage of white voters in these districts so they could win, it's just complete BS. And that it wasn't partisan, then why are you going around bragging what you did was you gained all these seats? I mean, really? I mean, how stupid are you? So that's that. I want to say a couple more things, though, about DeSantis and about registration and about voters and about the election, because I also get a bunch of stuff on this. So while I'm kind of going this my diatribe here, let me add this to it. Okay, DeSantis runs originally in 2018. He wins by about 35,000 votes over Andrew Gillum in 2018. Massive turnout. African-American community turned out tremendously, 62% turnout. And DeSantis barely wins. Okay, DeSantis' first term as governor doesn't do his far-right crazy stuff. Basically, he fights to keep Florida open during COVID, goes against Biden, blah, blah, blah. But that's basically it. Doesn't do the far right stuff. And so when he runs in 22, there are people that thought, well, maybe he kept Florida open, the economy's better because of this. There were red people that moved to Florida and other people from all around. And he runs, and he doesn't have a lot of negatives yet to vote against him for some people, I guess. 3.1 million did vote against him in 22. I voted against him. He gets 4.6 million votes, and Charlie Crist got 3.1 million. He wins by 20%, but boys and girls, 7 million voters, 50% of the voters stayed home in Florida in 22. They did not turn out and vote at all. My African Americans, you did not turn out in 2022. Only 40% turned out. So all of my African-American voters, and everybody's got African-American friends in Florida or family or others, you need to tell them in 24, they need to go vote. Actually, everybody needs to vote. Gen Z, you need to vote. Gen X, everybody needs to vote. I don't care what your persuasion, vote. Now, the Republicans don't want us voting, and also just another thing for all of my vote, I'm going to do a separate video on this. They have changed the voting by mail law. Governor DeSantis in the fine Republican legislature, you before had to request this and register only once every 4 years to get your ballot by mail. They've now changed it. It's every 2 years. You have to reapply if you want to vote by mail in Florida. So most people don't know this. They were real quiet about it. They hush about it. So obviously they don't want people to turn out and vote because they know when they turn out and vote, they're going to lose. All right, another thing about the voter demographics in Florida. There are 14.7 million voters registered in Florida. There are about 400,000 more Republicans right now than Democrats. Okay. But there are 4 million registered independents, more than enough to offset the 400,000 difference. And there are 300,000 people that are registered to other parties, such as the Green Party or other parties, whatever other party they want to be of. So that's 4.3 million, which is more than 11 times the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Another little anecdote, recently over the weekend, I picked up 3 different sets of people that have recently moved here. They were all gay, and we're all talking about voting and other stuff. And they all moved here. They moved here from Tennessee, they moved here from Chicago, and they moved here from Massachusetts, all specifically, 1, because they like it in Florida, and 2, so they could vote and try to vote people like DeSantis out. Everybody is not running from Florida. Many of us are here. We're staying here, and we can win again, and we will win again. Also, DeSantis cannot be recalled. There is no recall in Florida. He's in until his term expires, till I guess January 27, but he can't run again, and he'll be done. One more thing. Is DeSantis super popular now? I would say not. How can I say that? Well, let's look at the one state election that we've had. It was a local election for the mayor's race in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has had 1 Democrat elected in 30 years. Well, we now have 2 in 30 years. Donna Deegan, a Democrat, ran. In May, she became the mayor over the state representative that was DeSantis' chosen child. He was a state rep. All the far right, way out there stuff. He loses. She beats him by 6 points. DeSantis won the same district by 20 points. Not popular. Not popular. DeSantis couldn't win dog catcher right now. He's not popular. His diehards think he's great, but everybody else doesn't. So there you have it. I'm going to stop because I'm at 10 minutes and this is a really long video. So give me feedback. You want to hate on me? Tell me what you think. But give me facts to show where I'm wrong. Give me facts to show where I'm wrong.